What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Gaming with the Bros Cast, episode 267. This is not just any episode, Nick. This is the final episode before we get our grubby little hands on the Nintendo Switch 2. Nick, how are you feeling this week?
I'm chuffed, man. I'm so pumped. Can't wait. 2 days away. Gonna be there at midnight.
Yep.
I'll keep you updated. I'll take some pictures in line. It's
to.
gonna be fun. It's gonna be really fun.
Yeah.
I got a lot of stuff to pick up there. No physical games to pick up, but I did get a lot of accessories. So
yeah. Okay.
I'm very excited to get all that stuff and then come home and start downloading some games.
Yeah.
Right? Like, yeah, I gotta start downloading Mario Kart. Maybe I'll pop in like the physical edition of both of the Zeldas and play those. But yeah, dude, I'm pumped. I'm freaking
We're
pumped.
here. We're here.
You? How are you feeling?
I'm feeling great. Yeah, just feeling real good. Yeah, I think as the weeks got closer to the Switch 2, just got more excited.
Mm-hmm.
Can't wait to play Mario Kart. Can't wait to see all the updates I can't wait to play Tears of the Kingdom in freaking 60 FPS, man. That's just going to be, I know it's going to feel awesome. Incredible. I probably won't play like a ton. Like I'm not going to replay it again because I did. Well, I didn't do all the side quests, so I could start doing that. But I did do all the shrines and all that stuff. But yeah, just excited just to try out all the games that are getting the updates. Excited to play Pokemon, see how that runs. Oh yeah, and some others. But yeah, I'm very excited.
Wow. Well, should we just jump right into what we've been playing?
Let's do it. Let's just jump right into it.
Jump right into it. Harrison.
Yep.
Do you want to start with Doom?
Yeah, I'll start with Doom. Right. Have you played any more Doom?
I've not played any more Doom. I've been enraptured in other games that I'll talk about. But yeah.
Yeah. So I've been playing Doom. I finished Doom over the weekend. I really like this game a lot. I think it does get better in the second half. But I mean, if like I talked about last week, if you like 2016 Doom, if you like Eternal, I think Eternal, from what I remember, had a ton of like platforming stuff that could get a little bit frustrating. And this game, you are jumping around, but it's not really platform heavy. I mean, it does a really cool thing with like there's I don't know if clambering was in the other two games, but like this one, like all the kind of the standard of like the video game industry is like the yellow tape, or from like Resident Evil 4, or like just the yellow scuffiness. They have like yellow claw marks or something like that on the ledges that you can climb up, which there's a lot of like pushing blocks and stuff in order to get to a higher spaces. But all the guns feel really fun to play. I won't spoil it, but this game does have an equivalent of the BFG, but it's different, and it's really cool.
Okay.
So that's pretty sweet, and it makes sense for the for the Dark Ages or whatever.
The time period, yeah.
For the time period. Story-wise, I have no idea what the fuck's going on. I mean, it's just I think they were trying to make this one like the heavier story Doom, but I don't know. Like you start out and they're like if we keep attacking, they're gonna summon the Slayer, and then they do. But I feel like, I mean, for what the story is, I think it's fine. Final boss fights are really cool. They take advantage of like using the standard traditional boss fight, and then also throwing in like the big mech that you have. But yeah, I really like the way they handle the environments and weaving in like finding secrets, and then after, like, whenever you find a secret, most of the time you don't have to backtrack. You just kind of go through, and it opens up a shortcut, or it circles you back around to like the main area, because each level is basically more or less like a large hub, and then you have like your objectives, like, you know, go destroy 3 of the siege towers or something along those lines. So there is a lot of that samey kind of thing, but just the individual fighting is just so much fun that it's like, whatever, you do the 3 things, and then you move on with the objective or with the level. But the way they always, once you get to the very end of the level, because there's always going to be like a purple key or a blue key that you need to find in order to do most of the secrets. And the way that they always tuck in those keys kind of towards the end of the level, and then you get it, and then a gate opens up, and then you can go back into the main hub. They always do a really great job of tying everything together. I mean, kind of like a Dark Souls game, like in a way. I know that's kind of cliched to. I mean, everyone's comparing every game to Dark Souls these days. I mean, even
gold standard. Yeah,
even people were, Claire Obscure, they were, referring to Dark Souls, which, but yeah, this game is a ton of fun. I think it's one of those games where you can probably beat it in, 3 to 4 sessions. It took me about, I don't know, maybe 10 hours or so. But yeah, just absolute blast.
Nice. And we should probably do like a mid-year check-in around, I guess, later this month.
Yeah.
And maybe talk about like our top 5 games of the year. Do you think this would fall in your top 5 games of the year so far?
I think so. I mean, I've only really played Xenoblade. Like I didn't play enough to like really have like a strong opinion. I'm going to wait for the Switch 2 to come out. And hopefully they'll patch in an upgrade. Not that game is unplayable or anything, but
it might already have an upgrade. Like it might have a natural.
It could, yeah. I mean, I know
that some games would get
naturally play better.
Like could get loading improvements and like frame rate improvements.
Yeah, I mean, there's like that source code leak that happened with like that shows the 60 FPS. Mm-hmm. So I've got a feeling it's coming down the line. We'll just have to wait. Maybe they'll also, do one for like Xenoblade 3 or something like that too.
And also because you have the Pro controller pre-ordered, right?
Oh yeah. And
with the back paddles, you could assign. How like in Xenoblade, you have like the the bar that you scroll between.
Yeah.
I think it's the D-pad that you use to scroll between it.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, but you could assign that to the back paddles.
That would be
actually
pretty
look
nice.
Around and like actually perform actions while you're scrolling between the different items. So that might be the best way to play it. Honestly, is just waiting for the Switch 2. I finished the game, but I want to wait until the Switch 2 comes out to go back to the DLC that they added in. So
gotcha.
That's the plan.
Yeah.
But sorry, you were talking about your potential top 5.
Oh yeah. So like, I think like, and I haven't really played like too much. Xbox has really kind of carried me this year. As far as, I mean, they're the only one that's really been putting anything out. So besides from Xenoblade, I mean, South of Midnight, I thought was an excellent game. It had, it's combat aside, like it's not anything great. It's very reminiscent of like the earlier kind of 360 platforming games, which I like a lot. So
like the cameos.
Yeah, the cameos of the world and some of the other maybe character action, kind of platforming games that weren't like super, super deep with their combat systems or any systems in general. But the story and the atmosphere and the music really, really carried that. So I like that one a lot. Abour was another one of those games where I liked the combat was just pretty excellent in Abour.
Yeah, it's great.
So much fun. The story I didn't really care for. It was kind of whatever. Kingdom Come, I need to have to spend some more time with that game.
Yeah, for
sure. I really liked what I played. I'm not the biggest sim person in the world, and it does feel like that game gets in its way a lot. But that's just
it's the nature of the genre.
Yeah. But what I played, like I really, really enjoyed. The story was super interesting, and I didn't really get that far into the story. I just kind of dicked around in the open world a lot, which was a ton of fun.
Did you make it to the wedding?
No, I didn't. I didn't do that part.
you and everyone else. that was like the running meme for a little bit, is that people would spend 50 hours doing everything but going to that wedding.
Well, I think like Avowed came out like right after.
Yeah, it was pretty close.
And then I jumped in Avowed, and I was just having a better time at that time. Just that combat was so
less friction.
Less friction. The combat was so much fun. And Avowed, and then obviously Expedition 33 is just
right.
I mean, God.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about it last week, but that's that.
And then has there been anything else? I don't.
I think you should go try Blueprints at some point.
I did download that on my Xbox, so I've got that ready to go. Yeah,
it's a great it's a great game for your backbone.
Yeah.
So
okay, yeah, I do need to try that. Is that on Switch?
I don't think so.
Okay,
It'll probably
that would be like
Switch
a great
too.
Switch 2 game. Like if that was to come to there, I'd probably just pick it up there and play it.
I don't know if the Switch 1 would be able to run it.
Really? Is it that intense?
It's not that intense, but you're like creating new rooms, like new 3D rooms every time you walk through a door.
I just wouldn't be able to create some of that stuff instantaneous like the Xbox and PS5 can.
I take that back. It could probably run. I mean, it could definitely run on the Switch 1. It would just probably run at a lower frame rate or have some hitching or loading that does not exist on the Xbox and PlayStation and PC versions. So
that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's so many games that I would just come to Switch 2 and I'll play you there. Yeah, just bring it over. Other than that, I can't think of anything. I mean, we'll have more thoughts about Nightreign, in the coming weeks once we dive more into it. And that seems like it has potential to be in like a really, really good game. But yeah, Doom's awesome.
Nice.
Yeah, I think you should. I know like Switch 2 is coming out this week, so maybe not this week, but I think at some point you should go back to it.
I will. It's really good. Yeah. I'll definitely get back to it and finish it. I don't want to leave it like I left Eternal. Because I loved 2016 so much. So
and you can get through it. I think it's quicker than Eternal. Like I don't think it's as long. I'll have to look at my stats on Xbox, but I'm pretty sure it was like 10 hours. Like each chapter. And I really wasn't like trying to 100% all the levels, but it just naturally flowed, and I'm like, oh well, I've got the key. Let me go do the stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So it just kind of naturally flowed into itself. Because I think I might have 100%ed like one or two of the levels, but that's about it. Like I didn't go into the game planning on doing that, but like I found like most of the keys, most of the secrets, most of like the little plushy toys you can find. I completely upgraded the shield. I upgraded a ton of the guns. I've got like all the max health and armor you can have. I think I maxed out like the ammo you can carry too. So like, and you get that from fighting some of the bosses that are in the game that are the kind of the higher tiered bosses that are. Sometimes you'll naturally come across them like in just playing through the story, but sometimes they're kind of tucked away. In a cave or something like that, or off the beaten path. But
gotcha.
So yeah, the whole game just feels supernatural. Like it doesn't feel like you're going out of your way to collect anything.
That's nice. Yeah.
Like there's some stuff like some probably secret areas that you might have to. And there were some spots where I'm like, oh, there's a sigil behind that door and I'm like, I've already got 3. Like I'm not gonna spend my time trying to get to it. So yeah. But yeah, excellent game.
Nice. Well, before we get into Nightreign, I've been playing more Fantasy Life and like 23 hours in.
Yeah.
I've been playing the heck out of this game, and I realized why I love it. It's like RuneScape.
Greg on Kind of Funny was kind of gushing about this game a little bit.
This could be a good day one Switch 2 game.
Yeah.
Because it's like RuneScape. You just you do whatever you want. You have 14 classes and you can level them all up to level 99. And you like it's not like a life sim where like you're constantly farming or you're building relationships. It's really just an action RPG.
Yeah.
For the most part. Like there is the portion like Animal Crossing where you can build a town or whatever. I haven't done any of that. I've just been out in the mines, people yearning for the mines. I've just been doing a bunch of combat, blacksmithing, carpentry. It's such.
Like, is it hitting like that Stardew itch that you and Alicia had for like a year?
Yes,
or a few months
definitely hitting the Stardew itch.
Okay. Did you ever play Dragon Quest Builders 2?
No, I didn't.
Okay.
I think I played the demo.
I played the demo and I really liked it, and I kept waiting for it to go on sale, and I think it eventually did, but by that time I wasn't interested like super hard in it anymore. But
yeah. I'm sure that would be give a similar feeling, but
yeah,
like this game just has so much stuff. Like there's a whole like roguelike dungeon element to it as well that I've done. Like you just like plant a tree.
Is there a demo for this?
No, not to my knowledge. There's not. Yeah. And then there's like this big open world that's not even really part of the main game, but you can go to it whenever you want and just explore this big open world, and you can like level up the different areas inside of the world so you can fight stronger monsters in the same area, if that makes sense. Like,
yeah,
you start in a specific area, you over level or whatever, and then you can level up that area so you can mine better materials, you can fight stronger enemies, and you can get better resources.
Yeah.
So there's that whole part of the game as well that I haven't even dug into that much. And then there's just the normal like story mode that takes you through different areas of the game. But
okay,
maybe watch a YouTube video or something on it. A review.
I was watching Kind of Funny earlier, and they were talking about it, and they had Barrett had pulled up the YouTube video, I think, of like some gameplay, and I was like, all right, it's
really cathartic.
There might be something here.
It's really cathartic just to sit there and chop some trees for a little bit.
Yeah,
like everything's like
a little like a good tree chopping game.
Yeah, it's getting rave reviews. I think it's at an 86.
Did it just come out?
It came out 2 weeks ago.
Okay, maybe because it's got that Switch 2 upgrade, people are kind of diving in and talking about it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but the Switch 2 upgrade takes the game up to 60 frames per second and increases the fidelity a bit, I think. Okay. So I'm like, honestly, I'm really excited for that game on day one of the Switch 2 as well.
Sweet.
Even though I'm 20 something hours into the game, I'm still excited to play more and finish the story. And
well, it's good that you haven't finished it, so that way, like, you're still like,
I'm still like reaping the rewards.
And you get the benefit of, a more powerful system. So that's cool. Yeah. That's what always sucks about like a game you finished. Like Zelda, like super excited to try it, but it's like
into it.
Yeah, I've already put out my a lifetime of work into that game, but I could do it again.
Yeah, so if anyone's interested, I would definitely check out some reviews of Fantasy Life I.
I might have to look into it.
See if it's for you. Yeah, I think the Switch 2 version is $62.59, some weird price. I know the upgrade is like $2.59. So it's a very
so it's a $59.99 a game on Switch.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. But having a lot of fun with it.
Sweet, cool. All right, well let's dive into our impressions of Elden Ring Nightreign. So I want to get before we dive in, I wanted to get your thoughts on how you were feeling about this game coming out this week, because it didn't come out of nowhere, but like I kind of forgot about that it was coming, and then it came out. And it's a multiplayer only game. You could do single player, but like, what were your kind of overall thoughts about this game going into it?
So, as someone who played the open beta period,
right,
and had a lot of trouble with disconnecting, and I actually figured out the issue, and I think it was on my end. I was running off of my 5G Wi-Fi, and I switched to the non-5G version.
Okay.
Of my Wi-Fi, or the non-5G signal, and that seemed to fix my problem. Okay. So I thought it was a server issue, and it turns out it was not, which is great, which is really great.
That's how you would want to be if it's something on your end that you can easily switch. Like, hell yeah.
Yeah. But going into the launch last week, I wasn't super excited. Like you, I'd kind of forgotten about it just because it's so close to the Switch 2's launch. And then the reviews came out, and they weren't. I mean, they were good, but they weren't. They weren't Elden Ring level reviews.
Like FromSoft good, yeah.
FromSoft good. So, I was a little torn, and then I thought about it some more. I just thought, hey, it would be fun to jump back into Elden Ring and see if I actually like this. And then the entry price is a bit lower; it's $40. So
yeah, super nice.
Yeah. So yeah, wasn't super excited for it, but was interested.
Okay.
Yeah. What about you? Were you kind of the same?
Yeah, I was probably a little. I mean, because I hadn't played the game at all. Like, so I really outside of like the initial trailers, like I just didn't watch anything. I didn't. Whenever I think like IGN did IGN first, and like all the other outlets were kind of like covering it. Like I just wasn't paying attention to it because like it just it's like it's just a multiplayer thing. Like I'm probably gonna pick it up, but like I'm not super stoked. And I kind of wasn't like I didn't play this game I think until Sunday. Or no, I think maybe I played it Saturday. I can't remember. I think I
Didn't
played
you
a little
play
bit
like the
Saturday.
intro on Saturday and then?
Yeah, I played like the tutorial mission on Saturday, and then we dove in on last night. But so yeah, I wasn't super excited about it, and knowing like how annoying FromSoft's multiplayer has been in the past, just how they you have to summon people in, and I get it. It's convoluted because Souls games are convoluted because that's just how those games operate. But when people just want to play with each other, like they don't want to deal with all the rigmarole of
Just
like
make it
just
easy.
bullshit. Just make it easy.
Seamless.
It's
easier said than done, but
yes, I wasn't excited knowing how FromSoft operates, but I mean, from what we played, I mean, yeah, we did have to wait like a good amount yesterday, which I think that's probably, and I know they had the patch today, which I think updated some of the single player stuff, made it a little bit easier for people playing solo. Yep. Did they update anything in the multiplayers, like as far as like connecting?
I don't think in terms of connecting. I think it was mainly focused on bug fixes, and then making the single player a little easier by giving you one revive, and by increasing the runes that you get.
Oh, okay. Have you played any of that today?
I played like half a run this morning, and it was a noticeable difference. And I died during the first night, and then I was revived. So that was really nice. I mean, that is going to change my perception of the game now that I'll be able to get farther into it solo,
right?
Versus like having to either party up with you and find a random, or party up with 3 or 2 other randoms. But touching back on you and I playing last night, the big problem with this game, and we'll get into the things we like about it, but the big problem with this game is that you can't play with 2 people. You can only play with 1, or you play with 3.
Yep.
And if you're partying up with another person and searching for a third
random,
searching for a random, it's really hard to find a match, because my understanding is that
most people they want to go in with their buddy and then just find a random. That's probably what everybody is doing.
Mm-hmm. So they should have scaled it to 2 people, just like they scaled it to 1. I feel like that's a pretty like a mathematically easy thing to do, but maybe, I mean, I'm not a game developer. I don't know about game economy. Like, it might not be as easy as just setting the health bar down 50% or whatever from what it would be with 3 people. But I feel like it would be an easy fix, and it would make a lot of people happy.
Yeah.
So that's the big drawback so far, because I would love for just you and I to go in and be able to adventure together, because in the last round that we played last night, our third person, and I was pinging areas.
Yeah.
I was pinging areas on the map that we were going to. And the other person was off in Timbuktu doing God knows what, dying.
Yeah, died like all the time. So I guess like to backtrack a little bit and explain. Let me let my dog out real quick.
Okay.
She like always comes in here knowing that she's gonna want to leave within like 5 minutes. It's so annoying.
Dogs just do that.
It's so annoying. But yeah, to kind of backtrack and like what this game is like it's it's Elden Ring. If you played Elden Ring, you kind of know how to play this game. But it's quicker. They have like a full on sprint button now, dedicated to the left thumbstick, like every other game, which is super nice. They have wall clambering. But like the main kind of hook is, I mean, you think PUBG, Fortnite, like you
it's like a roguelike.
and like a roguelike all combined. you fly into, like, the game automatically takes you to a certain zone, usually like right outside of like a little camp that you can kind of immediately start farming runes. And then I don't know the pace of what the ring, the circle comes in at, but you have to, it'll eventually get you towards a certain point in the map, and then you do day 1 fighting a boss and all the way until day 3. But so it's a interesting concept for Elden Ring. I never would have thought FromSoft would have done something like that. It's just seemingly very random, but also like kind of works. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's a really, really weird, because the full run takes about 35-45 minutes to complete, because you have the full day 1, which is about 10 minutes. You have night 1, which is the boss fight. You have a full day 2, which is another 10 minutes, and then you have a night 2 boss fight, and then you're immediately thrusted into you have a second to breathe, but then you go into the final boss of day 3/night 3. And then
and it's go ahead.
And then you can do that again and again, and you basically unlock new bosses new Night Lords. Those are the final bosses. You unlock new final bosses that you can fight after you fight that first initial Night Lord. Sorry, you were going to say something.
From my understanding, and maybe I'm completely wrong because you have more of a better grasp of these games, but is it kind of similar to Monster Hunter, where like you're going in with like an objective of you want to kill this specific boss or this specific creature? Is it kind of like that, or is it not quite the same?
Not really.
Okay.
Monster Hunter is like more so focused on the one enemy that you're fighting. Gotcha. So you just go into a map, and then you hunt down that enemy and you fight them, and like there's like mobs on the way that you can fight and like harvest their resources, but most people just go in and fight that boss. Whereas this one, like it's
gotcha.
You
and it's not like it's live service-esque. I guess it's kind of got like that layout, but it's not like it's a full on like game that you can complete. There's it's all already in the game. That's not saying that they won't do some sort of event or something like that, but it's all there ready for you to go through, which is cool.
And I mentioned roguelike. There's these relics that you unlock after each run that are pretty much modifiers to your character, like buffs that you can equip, and those are permanent. And you can equip those to any of your 8 classes? 7 or 8? I think 8. Yeah, you can equip them to any of your 8 classes, and then you can buy relics as well. So there's a lot of like modification that you can do to your character. A lot of it is really obtuse.
Yeah.
Some of the relics I feel like are absolutely worthless and provide no value. Like, you need 3 great shields in your inventory, and then you get a health buff. Like, what? Am I going to find 3 great shields? And am I going to remember to pick them up? Like, that's insane. But I mean, I'm pretty sure there's like hundreds of different relics. I think they're just randomized. So
yeah.
But that's what kind of makes it a roguelite, is that there's that sense of permanence going from run to run. But yeah, super interesting game. And we played 2 rounds together.
Yeah.
Last night we got to the end of night 2.
Could have played probably 2 more. We just waited forever for that third person to connect.
Yeah, that was a big issue. We just waited so long. We played around with the settings. We set a password for 2 people, and that didn't really work.
No.
And then I went onto the Nightreign Reddit, and of course everyone else was having the same issue because everyone's trying to run duos.
Yeah.
Which is where I found that like password solution, which didn't really work. But yeah,
I wonder if they'll update that in like the near future, because like
I hope so.
People can't connect and they just want to play with their buddy. I mean, that's super annoying.
Yeah, and not only is it hard to find a third, but there's no crossplay. So we're only playing with Xbox people, which, I mean, God knows how many people are playing on Xbox.
That's true.
And then if you make it past the first Night Lord and unlock the rest, and you want to queue for one of those Night Lords, Okay, then there's another barrier of the people that haven't made it through the first Night Lord.
Yeah,
That
they
makes
might not
it
be able to make
harder.
it through because they can't find anybody to play with. So
Yeah, so it's like a double. Wait, it's the opposite of a double-edged sword, whatever that is. Um, but that sucks. Like,
yeah,
they need to figure out crossplay, and they need to do a better job of just general matchmaking.
yeah,
Especially, they need to figure this out, especially for Dustbloods. I know that's not a game where you're pairing up with people and lobbying up, but they need to have the matchmaking figured out.
for sure. Yeah, that was kind of my biggest worry last night, and we had talked about it. It's like this kind of feels like maybe a test run for Dustbloods to get everything situated. And I gotta assume, I mean, do we have a release date for Elden Ring on Switch too?
No.
I gotta assume Nightreign's probably coming. I mean, why wouldn't it? I mean, it's already
I think
sold 2 million plus. So, I
already
mean,
there.
yeah, you might as well bring it over. And also, like, this, we don't really know what like the online infrastructure is going to look like for the Switch 2. Is it going to be good? We just don't know. So I think bringing Nightreign over that has like that multiplayer in it to test it out for Dustbloods, but so I am a little bit concerned for that game, but like you said, you're not queuing with people. You're just, I guess you are queuing, but it's like 8 people. Like 8 people is gonna be pretty easy to find.
Right. Yeah, 8 people and everyone's queuing solo, so it's not.
Yeah,
it's not
gating. Not a big
it.
deal.
Yeah. I mean, let's talk about the gameplay itself. Like you mentioned, the new sprinting mechanics, the wall running, everything's quicker,
super quick.
But the kind of the core mechanic of the game is that during the day you're running around and you're fighting these smaller bosses, which are yielding you either weapons or stat boosts, modifiers, whatever, and runes. So you're using those to level up.
It's like the equivalent of like in Fortnite when you're just out looting, and that's my favorite part of Fortnite. Is just I don't really care for like fighting in Fortnite, just because nine times out of 10 I'm going to get blasted away by an unemployed. But I'm joking.
But the looting part, part is.
But yeah, it's super fun, man. It's just
it feels good, and it feels good when you get a weapon that like synergizes with something else or like directly benefits another weapon that you have. Oh, Snacks is walking
Speaking
in.
of dogs.
Hey girl.
Hey, Snacky Snacks.
So yeah, all that stuff is really cool. The boss fights are great. Had a lot of fun with those. The first Night Lord boss fight was really cool.
Yeah.
I learned something after we stopped playing that I wish I would have done when we started going down at the end. But you know how when you first go down, there's a circular bar and only 1/3 of it is filled, and you have to, another person has to hit you to res you, right?
Yeah.
And then if you go down again, it fills up 2/3, so it takes longer to res you. When it gets to the 3, when it fills it up all the way, apparently you're just supposed to use your ultimate ability, because that can heal you in one shot.
If you're down, you can use your ultimate.
Not if you're down. Like if you were down, I would use my ult on you to heal you, and that would be a lot quicker.
That's what I did. I think not with. Well, it must have been the second guy, but yeah, whenever we were fighting, I transformed into like the big beast, and I just luckily.
Oh, you happened to swipe me.
I happened to be with right where somebody was down with where the boss. So I was still hitting the boss, but then you were down, so I was just like swiping at you too. So that was super convenient, but yeah,
just something I learned. I was like, that's a lot better than like trying to hack away at someone while the boss is attacking you.
Yeah,
and then trying to make sure that you're not dying. So it's a fun time. It's just such an interesting game.
It's neat. It's something that I didn't think could work. When I mean, obviously when we first saw the trailer for Nightreign, we're like, another expansion, like what is this game? And then then I think you saw like and you were like, is that a circle, a ring circle? And I'm like, Fortnite? Oh, I think it is. Is this Fortnite? And obviously I think a lot of people were like, trust the process, right? It's FromSoft. Like they've never really delivered a bad game. And this one's just, it's great. Like I love like the individual classes that this game offers. Like they're all like pretty unique. I've only tried the base, the one that you do the tutorial in. I did the archer class, which I didn't love. I liked the movesets.
I like playing as the archer until boss fights.
Yeah. And then it's like I don't know. And maybe that's just like a skill issue and like you have to get better at that. But I also think the bow that I had was just too slow for that particular boss, or just boss fights in general.
Yeah.
Because the initial bow you get, I mean, you can just kill people before like anybody gets over there. I love the fact that like everything is shared. All the runes are shared, so there's not like that sense of like, oh, like bro, let me get some kills in. It just shares. That's really cool. And then I really like the kind of the executor class. It's kind of like the samurai class. I really like that one a lot. Yeah, the Parry Daddy. So I haven't tried the other ones yet, but yeah, they all feel pretty unique, and I don't know. That's something they can always add in the future too. Like if they want to throw in a new class or something, they certainly could.
Yeah. So
like throw in like a Bloodborne like style class. Oh my god, easy Hunter, money. FromSoft.
The Hunter.
That would be fire.
Switchblade, whatever it's called.
Yeah,
that would be sick. Oh my god.
Yeah, that would be awesome. That is easy money. I know they said they weren't doing like microtransactions or anything like that, but I mean that's easy money.
There aren't any bosses from Bloodborne. I guess there can't be, right? Because it's Sony's IP.
Yeah, I think it's anything from. I don't know about Sekiro either.
Yeah, because Sekiro is
Activision. So yeah, I think just anything Dark Souls and Elden Ring is going to be there.
Damn.
But yeah, if they could, I mean, God, Sony, like, just if this is how you give us something Bloodborne,
let it be.
Just let it be, man.
Just let it happen. So, who is this game for? Do you think this is for the not? I don't think it's for the Elden Ring audience. I think it's for the Elden Ring audience that also bought Shadow of the Erdtree. Would you agree with that, or do you think this has the ability to go beyond the base Elden Ring player base,
even further beyond? Like for people that don't enjoy Elden Ring, they're going to come to this and enjoy it. Is that what you're asking?
Or have never played it?
I don't know. I think this game is made for fans of FromSoft games. It would be kind of wild to me if this was like your first, jump into, a FromSoft game. I mean, it's not a bad experience at all, and I think the tutorial does just fine. But I think it goes in knowing that you have knowledge of Elden Ring. Like it's a
treats it like a
standalone expansion kind of thing. But yeah, I mean, it's really cool. Again, I didn't think that this would work as well as it does, and it's obviously got some issues with matchmaking and stuff like that. But it's fun. It's super super fast paced.
Yeah,
and yeah, we talked about it last night, but I want to go back and play Elden Ring and see how different it is, because like this game is so much faster than Elden Ring.
Well, I'm definitely gonna pick up Elden Ring on the Switch too.
Yeah, that's kind of like a must. Like I'll probably pick that physical. I know it's gonna be a game key card, but
yeah, it will be. But
I want that box art
physical. I really hope it runs at 60, and I think it will be able to, because did the Xbox One and PS4 versions run at 60, or were those 30?
60. Yeah, it was 60.
Okay, then Switch 2 should be able to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I hope so. Yeah. I hope it's able to pull that off. Because even Nightreign is on the PS4 and Xbox One.
Yeah.
So it's not like the game is using the highest quality assets.
No, I mean it's a much smaller version of like this is Limveld, right?
Limgrave?
Lim something like that. But yeah, it's a much smaller version of the Lands Between.
Yeah. It was only like 20 gigs.
Yeah.
So it's
only
not
20
it's
gigs.
not that big.
It's not huge. Yeah.
Not that big.
But yeah, I mean, if you're an Elden Ring fan, I'm sure you've already jumped in to this game because it's more Elden Ring.
Oh, that reminds me.
Placed in like a cool concept, and I think that concept works when you can get into a match.
That reminded me. I did pose a question on TikTok.
Okay.
Asking people if they've slayed their first Night Lord.
Okay, which I still have not. I don't think I've gotten past day 2 yet.
Yeah, and then if so, what was the story? So I'm gonna read a few here.
Okay, let's do it.
First one, no, because I play alone and it is much harder alone.
Well, you're in luck. Today's patch. You can do it. You can do
is
it
me
solo.
Is it me or are y'all having matchmaking issues? My friend and I are trying to play and we haven't found a match in about an hour. That's what we went through.
What our experience was.
Okay, here's an actual success. Me and my friend both go down with a smidge of boss health left. Wilder randomly uses their ult on the boss and causes us to res and pushes it back, but it goes down. Friend is smacking randomly, but I use Iron Eye ults. It's good ult.
Yeah.
Finish the fight. No flasks left for all 3 of us.
Clutch.
That's pretty clutch.
That's locked in right there.
That's the definition.
Yeah.
Of
hell yeah.
Locked in. Someone did the first 2 as the Guardian class, which I have not played outside of
that one's really cool.
Yeah. But they're struggling on the 3rd and are learning the Executor class, which is awesome.
Okay.
A lot of people are playing the Executor.
It's a pretty sweet. Even like the skin itself is pretty sweet.
Yeah. Someone first time ever playing the Duchess class, and they won. So
nice.
Happy about that. Yeah. So it sounds like people are having fun. Someone has just been playing as Iron Eye this whole time, so that's good. Apparently, Iron Eye is really good for solo, just because you can get some good distance between yourself and the boss.
Yeah. Maybe it's even easier.
Yeah. But it sounds like people are having fun. It sounds like people are having some success.
Yeah, I mean, with our 2 games that we got in, I mean, I had a blast.
Yeah.
That first guy was good, and that second guy was just, I don't know what he was doing, man. He was just dying randomly. I'm like, what are you doing, bro?
Where are you? First round was good. I made a grave mistake of having us go after the bull,
the falling star beast,
and
that beast that one's already like super annoying to fight in base Elden Ring. So I was like, I mean, I was all for it. I just want to get more runes and blah blah blah. But we got immediately humbled. And we're like, we should have done that.
Yeah, because we
and then once you, I don't think we mentioned it, but like when you're outside of like the night 1 boss fight, if you die to like a regular field boss, you will respawn, but you lose the level. So it's like, and that could be very, very detriment if you're right around like the end game of day 1 or day 2. Like if you go in, like I think what maybe level 5, level 6 is what it's like. It's like, it feels like it's what recommended to go into day 1. So if you die and you're like level 4, it's like that can hurt you a lot.
Yeah, that can set you back.
And then like leveling up too is like you go up to the bonfire. What's the
Side of Grace?
Side of Grace. Like you automatically heal, and then you just hit level up, and it just automatically, whatever your class is going to level up your class based on stats.
It'll allocate those skill points.
Yeah, so there's no.
It's all very quick.
Yeah. Yeah, very nice. The game's very cool. I cannot wait to play some more.
Yeah,
just a lot of fun. Just sucks that it came out right before the Switch 2.
I know.
If this would have came out like 2 weeks ago. Oh man,
great. 2 weeks ago would have been perfect.
They got to be like kicking themselves. I mean, probably not, because
they already sold to them.
Not everyone's. Yeah, I mean, not everyone's going to be able to get a Switch 2. So this will definitely be like something people can play instead, and not feel as bad. But
I think they'll be fine. I mean, they have Elden Ring on Switch 2 later this year, and then they have Dust Bloods. They're not worried about it, I don't think.
No, not at all.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's dive over into kind of the question of the week, top of the week. We're going to kind of be talking about Switch 2 launch games. I know we kind of talked about it last week, and then this is also a time to kind of one last thought of the Switch 1 generation. Anything you want to bring up?
And then no more thoughts on the Switch 1.
And then Switch 1 is dead.
It's dead to us. All right, so let's run through the Switch 2 launch game list one more time. I have it up right in front of me. It's categorized. It looks real nice. Let's start with the first party offerings. So Mario Kart World, obviously, that's a big one. Both of us are getting that. We're getting the Mario Kart bundle.
We're saving money, Nick. We're saving money.
We are saving money by doing this. Yes. And then, of course, future game of the year, Nintendo Switch 2 Welcome Tour.
Oh, my God.
Also releasing on day one for $10. Has 20 mini games, 14 demos. You tour the physical Nintendo Switch 2 as a little character, and they teach you the difference between 120 frames and 30 frames. And you better get it right, because if you don't, then you can't complain about games being 30 versus 60. So keep that in mind.
I would love to know the statistics of
who gets it wrong,
of who gets it right and wrong, because that's kind of been, and I'm definitely more on I want the 60 frames per second, because that's kind of detrimental to an experience, I think, now in gaming. But before, 360, we were all playing in 30 for the most part. It didn't really bother me. But now that I've gotten a taste of the 60, obviously. But yeah, I would love to see that statistic on who gets that right.
Yeah, I would too. I think they need to put everyone on blast.
Y'all, your eyes really couldn't tell the difference.
Yeah.
It's more of a feel, I think.
It's more of a feel. So those are the two first party games coming out. I mean, it sounds like you and I are potentially planning on picking up Welcome Tour. It's only $10. It's not that much. I know we've complained about it, but the recent video the recent trailer that came out went through a couple more of the mini games. It looks decently compelling. I might get it just as a little memento.
Yeah, I mean, my launch day plans is so I pre-order from Walmart. They say guaranteed by 9. So fingers crossed. You're obviously going to the Best Buy midnight release, so you'll have it at midnight.
Mm-hmm.
My plan is just kind of record a ton of just gameplay videos of all the stuff. So that's why I'm probably going to get Welcome Tour, just so I can kind of post it up, and I want to be, come next Monday, I want to be able to talk about everything,
right,
big blowout, discussion.
Yeah, that's kind of my plan too, because I've recorded just some gameplay clips of a lot of the Switch 1 games that are getting free upgrades on the Switch 2, like the Zelda, the 2D Zeldas, Mario Odyssey, Super Mario Bros. U. So I'll boot those up on the Switch 2 and try to work on some comparison videos, and then I'll probably do some unboxings too of all the accessories. That'll be fun. Let's see. Anything else first party? Nothing else. I guess GameCube games come to Switch 2 at launch. So we have F-Zero GX, Legend of Zelda Wind Waker, and Soul Calibur 2, which does have Link.
Very excited for that
as a playable character.
I did like Soul Calibur 2 back in the day.
Out of these three games, is there one that you're looking forward to playing the most?
I mean, not really. I'm not super nostalgic for any of them. Well, look, did you say Wind Waker?
I did say Wind Waker.
I do want to play Wind Waker, obviously. I don't know if I'm gonna.
You're not gonna play through that.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm gonna play through it. I mean, I may over the course of time, but also it's all right, come on, Nintendo, give it to me, man, give it to me. No, I'm very excited to check out Wind Waker, play with the GameCube controller, because that's getting ready to get delivered. And then I've never played F-Zero, so I'm excited for that.
Yeah, I'm gonna try that one out.
And then Soul Calibur 2 is a classic, so I'm excited. Oh, yeah. I'm excited for GameCube stuff. All the Pokemon Coliseum games are so good. It's a shame we haven't had a remaster, a proper remaster for those games, but I'm excited. We're going to be getting those down the line. I'm excited. I'm excited
for Fire Emblem Path of Radiance. Going to play through that.
I've never
finished
played
it for the first time. Yeah. like played bits and pieces of it. I think emulated, but
I thought you had that game.
I had Radiant Dawn
Radiant Dawn
on the Wii. And I never finished that one.
Oh,
It's a direct sequel.
How did I get confused with that one?
However, did you get confused? It's so clear. All right, on to the third party stuff, and feel free to stop me if anything sticks out. Arcade Archives 2 Ridge Racer, Bravely Default Flying
Ridge
Fairy.
Racer. This one I'm probably picking up for sure.
Yeah, probably gonna pick up.
Probably picking up for sure.
Probably definitely picking this one up. Looks great. Has a couple of additional mini games that use the mouse controls. I don't know if the main game makes any use of the mouse controls or not. I guess it could if you're like just like using the mouse to go between menus and like choosing attacks and that kind of stuff. But yeah, excited for this one. Cyberpunk 2077 Ultimate Edition. You and I have been going back and forth on whether we want to pick this up. I mainly want to pick it up because it's a physical game, and it would be really nice to have some sort of physical game. But what about you? What do you think?
I'm still on the cusp of getting it, and I probably will. I mean, let's be honest.
If it's offered to me, I will get it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Because I'm probably going to go to GameStop like on Thursday, you know, at some point, and just to see the vibes.
Oh yeah, I got to see the vibes.
And I'll probably pick it up then. I mean, let's be real.
Yeah, that's fair.
But as of right now, no.
Has not been pre-ordered. Okay.
Has not been pre-ordered. Yep.
Okay. Okay, we have Deltarune chapters 1 through 4.
Never played through Deltarune. I think I played the demo, but that's about it.
Yeah, I don't think I'll pick this one up. Fast Fusion, which I'm definitely going to get.
Yeah, this one I'm going to pick it up for sure. Yeah, it looks a lot of fun. It looks
$15.
Like yeah, F-Zero game, $15.
Yeah, pretty cheap. It runs at
60, 120, right?
I think they're trying to include that later.
Okay.
What is there? A 4K 60?
Yeah.
Mode. Yeah. Fortnite's coming day one. That's exciting. I mean,
that's huge because like Fortnite on Switch is so ass, dude. Oh my god, I can't. Like I feel for Kellen because like he'll sit there and play and he'll get mad and like when we hadn't played in a while, but you know he would get killed. But and he's pretty good, and I think it's just the Switch. Like I think it's that version is just not. It's a Switch. I mean, it's not Fortnite's fault. It's just
because it runs at
Switch's capability.
30.
Yeah, 30, and there's definitely internet issues. So I'll be curious to see how that runs on the Switch too. I'm sure it's like night and day.
Yeah, I'm excited for that one. Just excited to see how that looks.
Yeah.
Hitman World of Assassination Signature Edition. Are you interested in this one at all?
Maybe down the line. I don't know if it's not going to be a pick day one for me, but I have enjoyed those games in the past. But I've never played through one completely, especially this newer trilogy.
Yeah,
I've played through like Blood Bunny and stuff like that, but these are cool. Yeah, these are really cool.
Kunitsu Gami Path of the Goddess. I've seen so many videos of this, like so many YouTube videos of this game, and I've watched all that stuff. It's a Capcom
game, right? Yeah.
I think it's $40, so it's kind of a budget title, but it's a
heard good things. I mean, I know it's on Game Pass.
Yeah, it's like an action game, but it's also a kind of a tower defense game where you're defending this like queen that's walking this path. It's kind of an interesting concept. Nobunuga's Ambition Awakening Complete Edition. I'm not familiar with this one.
Mm-hmm.
Puyo Puyo Tetris 2S. I probably won't pick this up.
No.
Sonic X Shadow Generations. I'm just not a Sonic guy.
Sonic is an ass franchise. I said it.
Dang.
I said it. Sorry.
You just made a lot of people mad.
I just made tens of people mad. Like I said, the best thing to ever happen to Sonic was the movies.
Mario.
Yeah. Sonic and Mario and Sonic in the Olympic Games was pretty fire back on the Wii.
On the Wii, yeah, those are good. Split Fiction. That's a good Switch 2 game.
Yeah,
that's gonna be a good one.
I need to like. I need to get my wife and be like, all right, we're fucking playing this game, okay?
All right, if we can't get our wives to help us finish this game,
I'm gonna give her a timeline. Like, if we don't play it in the next like a few weeks,
me
Nick
and
I
you are
are
going
just
to
gonna
get
play it.
We'll finish the fight.
We'll finish it in like 5 minutes.
Yep. We don't even need to talk. We don't need to
Yeah.
communicate. We'll just blast through it. All right, Street Fighter 6 Years 1 and 2 Fighters Edition. I'm not going to get this one. I don't know about you.
No, I'm good. I'm not a big fighting game guy.
Yeah.
Just not.
Suikoden 1 and 2 HD Remaster. This one I've heard good things about. I don't think I'm super interested in picking it up at launch, but maybe at some point on a discount. Survival Kids. This is the game that famously crashed the Switch 2 Direct. I don't know if you remember.
And like the stream got messed up.
The stream crashed or messed up for like a minute and a half.
I do felt kind of bad after the fact for that game.
Yeah. And then lastly, on the third party end, we have Yakuza 0 Director's Cut.
Okay.
And then just quickly, I'll go through the games with paid upgrades for the Switch 2. That's Breath of the Wild, Tears of the Kingdom. We'll be playing those.
Free for if you're a NSO member.
Yeah. Civ 7.
I think the only two, right, that we
get.
Unless they change it down the line for some other stuff. But yeah, that's the only two that's confirmed.
Mm-hmm. We have Civ 7. That's getting a Switch 2 edition. Fantasy Life I. Very excited for that one. Rune Factory Guardians of Azuma. This game actually looks pretty fun. It's another life sim game similar to Fantasy Life.
Okay.
Just with a bit more like what's it called? Like anime style graphics. And then Hogwarts Legacy. We're both going to be playing that because we bought the game at like $15.
I got the game and the upgrade for about $15 because I had some gold points left over.
Wonderful.
So I was like, yeah, that's exactly what I want to spend on this game. Even though like the Switch one is not great, but like the regular Hogwarts game, it reviewed extremely well and also sold like crazy. But for whatever, I'm not the biggest Harry Potter fan in the world. I mean, I like it. I've seen all the movies, but just for whatever reason, I just never played that game, and I always heard good things. So yeah, excited to try it.
Yeah. And then just to run through the free upgrades one more time, and these are the Switch 1 games that are getting free upgrades for the Switch 2. We have 51 worldwide games, ARMS, Big Brain Academy, Captain Toad.
ARMS.
Yeah. I'll try it though. Game Builder Garage.
Oh, you have it, right? ARMS?
I do, yeah. Okay. I think I still have it. God, maybe I sold it. I hope I didn't, but I'll have to look. New Super Mario Bros. U Deluxe, Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, which I'm now tempted to pick up because it looks pretty good on Switch 2.
Yeah, it looks very, very smooth.
Yeah. 60 frames. Looks like there's better rendering.
And don't get me wrong, they could have absolutely 100% done this on the Switch 1.
Mm-hmm.
They were just too lazy.
Yeah, they're pretty lazy. Pretty lazy. This should not be a $450 upgrade for the game, right? Like you have to pay so much to get the best experience for this when it should have launched in a better state. But nevertheless, it looks good now, and I guess that's what matters.
That's what matters.
Last four,
and it's free. Can you imagine if they charge any sort of money, even if it was like $2? Like that would have been insane. I think they knew they couldn't get away with it. I think they probably wanted to. I guarantee you, the Pokemon company was like, "We're charging for this," and Nintendo was like, "The fuck you are."
You got to do a make good.
Yeah,
like you were not in people's good graces. Yeah, there was no way they could have gotten away with it.
No, not at all.
And then lastly, Super Mario 3D Worlds, Super Mario Odyssey, Legend of Zelda: Echoes of Wisdom, and Link's Awakening. So, I mean, I plan on
the free upgrades. Did they lay out any sort of improvements, or is it just? Yeah,
they laid out improvements for all of them.
Okay.
Some of them are adding like mouse controls. I know Game Builder Garage is adding mouse controls.
Oh, okay. That's cool.
Mario 3D World plus Bowser's Fury is getting a frame rate boost for Bowser's Fury, and then a visual boost. And then Super Mario Odyssey, I think that's just getting like an HDR and visual boost.
Bowser's Fury, I remember like it getting pretty choppy whenever he would come out.
Yeah, especially on handheld. For some reason, the handheld ran at 30, and I think docked ran at 60.
Yeah. But I felt like it dipped I think like it dipped even on maybe it didn't. I can't remember. Anyways, good. It's good. Yeah, good. Free upgrades are always good.
Yeah. So, I mean, I just went through a huge list of a lot of games. I know a lot of them are already either out on other consoles or they're out on the Switch 1 and are just getting upgrades. But
yeah,
I mean, there's some new stuff here too, like Bravely Default. That's a new. It's weird saying new remaster, but that's a new remaster coming out.
Yeah.
There's Fast Fusion. Is
Bravely Default is that coming to Xbox and PlayStation as well?
No, that's just Switch too.
It's just Switch. Okay. That's cool.
I think so. So a lot of games.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of stuff to try. I mean, there's a lot of stuff we can play around with the Switch too.
Right.
So I'm so stoked, man. Mm-hmm. I'm so stoked for it. Can't wait.
Well, do you have any final words for the Switch 1? I mean, I would years ago.
I'm still up in the air on what's my favorite console of all time. I think 360 still takes it for me.
Wow.
I was into gaming, but I think the 360 really catapulted my love for like really great single player games, and there were so many great franchises that started, ended, and then continued on the 360 and the PS3 generation. Stuff like Dead Space, BioShock, the Gears franchise that I love, Halo, Mass Effect. There were so many great RPGs specifically on Xbox that I just adore. But also, like, the Switch is also a very, very cool system. I mean, for it to actually, whenever we first got that trailer of like the guy putting it into dock and it just instantly popped on the TV, I was like, man, there's going to be like a hell of a delay. And no, it's pretty much like, a few seconds and then it's on there. So I feel like the Switch has definitely kept up with the hype of what it initially started out as. I mean, the fact that Nintendo had a game every single month, whether that game was for you or not, is an incredible like cadence of just games that they put out. No other company can even come close to that. The fact that it was still the best selling, one of the best selling consoles for a lot of this generation. They're still putting out. They still put out stuff like Tears of the Kingdom, which was incredible. Pikmin 4, absolutely incredible. And we got a new 2D Mario, which was great. And I think finally got away from that kind of, I don't know, I'm not gonna say archaic, but like that new Super Mario World
that,
or that
art style
they have, the art style that people were getting so tired of because they did a million sequels. Just a lot of Switch 2 had Luigi's Mansion 3, like one of the best games on the Switch.
It's goated.
My God, like. Yeah, just every game just about sold at least 1 million. Like if you were on the Switch, you were guaranteed to sell, a decent amount. Man, what Metroid Dread, one of the best Metroidvanias of all time now, is on the Switch.
Xenoblade
3, so incredibly good. Man, what a system! What a system!
It's my favorite system of all time, I think. Like, just so many good memories with this system. So many good indie games as well. Yeah. Like this, I feel like in the latter years of the Switch, it kind of became that indie machine of like, well, I don't want to play Sea of Stars on the Xbox. I don't want to play Hollow Knight on a like I would rather play it handheld on the Switch, where it's more portable. I can carry it around on the go.
Yeah. That's where I got torn with Game Pass because like Sea of Stars was on Game Pass. I'm like, I'm just gonna play it here. But then I ended up picking it up physical because like I loved it so much. I wanted to support the the team. But yeah, it was a great indie machine.
Right. And even though it was a bit underpowered at launch, or like just the Switch one was a bit underpowered compared to other systems on the market, it didn't matter because Nintendo knew how to take advantage of the hardware.
They're a master of their craft. I mean,
yeah. And like other developers were putting out these pretty incredible ports. Like I remember Doom 2016 getting, like that was one of the first like impossible ports to the Switch. And I remember watching so many comparison videos between that and the Xbox version. Yeah, Witcher 3 was a really great port. Like I played through the entirety of Witcher.
Alien Isolation, I think it's like the best version of
it's like the definitive way to play.
Which is crazy to think about.
Like Doom Eternal came to Switch 1 as well. Yeah, so many great ports, so many great indies. The first party games, I like arguably their best output of first party games of all time.
For sure.
Like unmatched. I mean, the quality was really there with the exception of the Mario sports games, which were just ass on the Switch 1. But
yeah, they weren't.
It's okay.
Good. They were underbaked for sure.
Yeah.
And they were charging full price for them as well. Like that was. It felt very, very criminal of what they were doing with the sports games. But yeah, I mean, like Metroid showed up on this system where it was almost like a dead franchise. I mean, the last one was on the DS, and that was like the year the Switch came out.
The 3DS. Oh no, you're right. Yeah, 3DS. Yeah.
On like the year like the Switch came out, so that was like already kind of dead on arrival. And we ended up getting Metroid Dread, which, like I said, is one of the greatest Metroidvanias of all time, in my opinion. We got Metroid Prime Remastered. That was excellent. Kirby and the Forgotten Lands was like the best Kirby of all time, in my opinion. The best selling as well. So Nintendo just kind of
they locked in.
Yeah, they absolutely thrived on the Switch. Gave us some of the best games. Yes, there was a ton of remasters that I don't agree with being full price. Luigi's Mansion 2, I'm looking at you for sure. But that being said, we got so many good games on this thing. Yeah. So many good things.
They brought back Pikmin.
Pikmin's great. Pikmin 4 is excellent.
Yeah. I hope that gets an upgrade.
Yeah, I don't see why I wouldn't.
Yeah,
that game would look. I mean, that game that's already like one of the best looking games on the Switch.
I know that would be good. A good showcase game. Yeah, I mean,
so, just good stuff, man.
There's a reason that they're making the Switch 2. It's because the Switch 1 is kind of like a perfect version of that form factor, and it's something that even with all of these other handhelds on the market, like the ROG Ally and the Steam Deck, like those still don't they don't hold a candle to the form factor of the Switch. Like they look so clunky, they're so big. They're more working out of those OS. Like it feels like you're fighting against the OS from what I've heard.
Yeah, I think the Steam Deck is pretty good because like it's just Steam. But like any of the other stuff that's like Windows based, it can get a little funky in there. I mean, I will say like outside of like the Switch one, like so like the Switch, I bought the Switch obviously, and then I've got the Lite too. But that was more of a Zelda thing. But like I've never purchased like a mid-gen refresh for any system. Other than the Xbox 360, I did get the Slim, and that's only because I went to college, and I had to get that because Halo Reach came out, and I was like, well, I'm not gonna like not leave you with an Xbox to play.
It's very kind of you.
So I ended up buying the Slim. So that's the only reason why I even had the Slim. But yeah, picked up the OLED because like, obviously at the time, my son was very much getting into the Switch and playing Mario and stuff. So like I kind of needed another system. But like the OLED is a pretty damn good piece of tech, in my opinion. It's like
OLED's fantastic. Yeah. Like even in 2025, that system and the white Joy-Cons just looks so clean.
Yeah, very clean.
So cool.
And I'm excited to see what then compare the screens because like from what I've seen, it's not an OLED screen, which is definitely a bummer.
Mm-hmm.
But the screen looks. I think that people have been saying that the screen looks really, really nice.
It might end up looking better just because the technology is a bit newer
Yeah.
on
Yeah.
the Switch 2's screen, and it's bigger, so it has that going for it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean between the base Switch, the Switch Lite, which I bought that as well and got some really good use out of it. I still think it has the best clickiness.
The light.
Yeah, the
Oh,
Lite.
the buttons are fantastic.
The buttons are very soft, they're very quiet, which I can't say the same thing about the Switch and the Switch OLED. There's a very, very loud buttons, which I kind of get annoyed by sometimes. But like each form factor has its own benefits, and I guess they're gonna do a Switch 2 Lite at some point.
Yeah,
At least I would imagine they would. I don't see why not, but
that could come down. That could come out in like 2027, maybe. It's like a little refresh for people.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Either way, Switch 1 was incredible. Excited for more of the same with the Switch 2, but just more power. 4K. It's gonna be great.
Dude, 4K Metroid, it's crazy,
insane. All right, let's dive into the news, and then we'll wrap up the show. Nick, you wanna start us off with some Switch 2 news?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of this we've already talked about. Pokemon Scarlet and Violet had some gameplay shown off today in the Nintendo Today app. They showed off the game running at 60 frames per second, and it seems like they picked some areas that had given a lot of trouble on the Switch 1 version in terms of frame rate, and it was running very, very smooth. It looks great. The draw distances are better. They're able to render more Pokemon on screen at once, so it looks like a more lived-in world. I'm excited for this one. I mean, you have Scarlet.
Yep.
Right? So you'll try that out.
No, Violet. I have Violet.
Oh, you have Violet. Okay. We'll get to try that out and tell me how that is, but I'm glad that I didn't pick up Scarlet or Violet back in 2022, because I mean, this looks like a pretty compelling offer now.
Yeah, for sure.
So excited to eventually pick this up and play it through.
Are you going to pick this up before ZA? Are you excited about ZA at all? Or are you kind of on the fence?
I'm pretty excited about. Well, I'm like relatively excited for ZA now that it's getting that Switch 2 version and will run a lot better. I might pick up Scarlet before ZA and play through it. We'll see.
Okay.
Got a new look at Welcome Tour. I talked about this before, but there's 20 mini games, 14 demos. I think the mini games, like they're like 3D mini games as well. So I think they're showing you how to use the mouse controls in the 3D environments. You're like shooting objects in a 3D environment. I think there's like a racing game on there as well. So there's some actual games in there. It's not just frame demos and that kind of stuff. It's not just like shaking the HG Rumble and seeing how the HG Rumble 2 sounds. So there's a bit more of a compelling offer there than what was previously shown with Welcome Tour. In the tree, like they did not show this game off well in the Treehouse. I don't know if you watched like the Nintendo Treehouse portion.
I did. It was. I mean, like, how do you show this game off though? It's just like.
Well, they spent like 10 minutes going through the Switch 2 quiz.
Yeah.
Like, why are you? That's not. No one cared. Like, no one cares about that.
Yeah, and just I don't know. I watched a lot of the Treehouse, but like the vibes were definitely not good. Just in this, especially if you were keeping up with the chat, because that's when they were like, drop the price,
drop the price, yeah.
And then the game was already like, we knew we had to pay for it, and it's like, oh my god, like this is not going well. But yeah, something like that. I don't know how you show off, whatever. Like I said, I'm probably gonna pick it up just because like I want to cover it. But it should be free. It should be free. It's a welcome tour of the Switch too. Like, what are we doing? Anyways.
All right, next thing here. If you pre-ordered your Switch 2 through Walmart, which Harrison, you did, it seems
I was checking like every other day just to make sure.
And you've been charged. Your card has been charged already.
My card has been charged. It said it's on the way on June 5th.
So. Nice. But apparently, a lot of people were getting their orders canceled, and not just because there were issues with their card. Allegedly, there were like system errors or whatever. Yeah. But as of today, a lot of those pre-orders that were canceled have been reinstated. So people are getting emails on how to reinstate their pre-orders. So they didn't actually lose out on it, which is good to hear. I mean, it sucks that this kind of stuff is happening 3 days before launch. Like you'd think they would have this figured out by now, but these things happen. No one's fault. It is what it is. I mean, there's millions of consoles that are being pre-ordered. Like there's bound to be issues.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Last Nintendo related news here, and I guess it's really a non-news, but previously there were rumors of a Nintendo Direct happening sometime around the launch of the Switch 2, whether it was going to be this week or next week. Nate the Hate came out and said he hasn't heard anything about any Switch 2 or any Nintendo Directs.
Yeah.
And people are kind of coming out and confirming that they have not heard anything as well. So
let me corroborate real quick.
Let me get my 2 cents out there as well. That doesn't mean there's not going to be a Direct. It might just be later in the month. Normally they have one in June anyways. So, they'll probably have one at some point in June or early July just to go through the rest of the year's slate of games.
Yeah, I don't know who thought that they would do one the week of the Switch 2 launch. Like that just seems like way too much.
And
yeah, like that just seems like way too much pressure to put on them. Like they're all all on board right now with the Switch 2 launch, making sure that's a success. But yeah, I think we'll get one later, like maybe like the last week of the month or something like that. I mean, they usually have one in June. Granted, it hasn't always been the case the last year with their stuff. But yeah, I think they'll have one because they have to, like you said, they have to show off the other dates for Metro Prime and Zelda and all that other stuff. So I think we'll get one. They're not gonna wait till September to have another one.
Yeah. Yeah, we won't have to wait too long. And also, the Switch 2 is almost out. So
we got a lot of stuff to play.
Yeah, games are coming out. You don't need to worry about the games that are.
Yeah. I think that's like where a lot of people, like everyone's always in that reactionary mode.
They're always waiting.
And then when stuff is here, they can't enjoy it because like they're always just in that mindset of like, okay, well, what's next?
Right.
It's like you got to be present. You got to live in the moment.
Consumerism.
Okay. Yeah.
It's always needing that next hit of.
And I get it. I get it. But like this is a console launch, man. Like, come on.
Like get hyped a little bit. Like get hyped for what's coming.
Yeah.
Yeah. Lastly here, non-Switch related, but Tango Gameworks has reopened and they're actively hiring for a new action game. So sounds like they're back at it. They're back in it, which is really great.
They don't own anything other IPs, right? That's all still Activision or Activision, Xbox.
I think they do own a couple of their IP.
Okay.
I don't know which ones. I don't know if that was disclosed.
Okay.
I mean, I would love to see The Evil Within 3.
Yeah, man. The Evil Within 2 is so damn good. God.
Yeah. That game was really overlooked.
It was super, super underrated. And I missed it. I think we both missed it at the time. Mm-hmm. I played through 1 and 1 was really great. Like it was a great
Resident Evil
style game, but 2 was really, really special. They had like that kind of open zone-ish kind of concept they had. Yeah, it was really, really good.
It was a scary game too.
Very scary. Yeah.
Yeah. Like that opening neighborhood area.
Yeah.
Or like that chapter 3 area, the neighborhood. Like I was sneaking around because I was petrified.
You're spooked.
I was spooked. But good to see they're like back in action and hopefully they go on to make something just as great as Hi-Fi Rush or The Evil Within.
Yeah. Sweet. All right. Well, Nick, any final thoughts before we get out of here?
Well, I hope everyone, gets the opportunity to buy a Switch 2. Hopefully, you have a great launch day. Hope
Do
get
you
all the games
do you want to do like a stream later on that night?
Yeah, either later on Thursday night. Yeah, we can do Thursday. Thursday
It
night.
don't have to be very long. Just kind of a vibe check on
We'll
how we're
check in.
feeling. Little check in. See how we're
Little
doing with all
shopping
of our stuff.
haul.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, guys, this is what I got here.
Here's
Here's my Switch 2.
Sorry for the blur.
Sorry for the blur. Yeah, I think we'll do that. Maybe, I don't know, 8:30, 9 o'clock. We'll just do like a little vibe check in, see how everybody's doing. If you guys want to come hang, we'll talk about what we've been playing and all that fun stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, hopefully everyone got a pre-order in. And if you don't, it sounds like there's some really great opportunities with GameStop, like on the 4th to pre-order it, I think around like 3 p.m. I think you have to pick it up at midnight that night in order to secure it, obviously. But I feel like they're going to have a lot of, like, Target's going to have a lot of stuff.
Best Buy has a lot of stuff at midnight.
Best Buy. Follow Jake Randall on Twitter and YouTube. Like, he's your go-to guy. Like, I think he's live streaming that night too to help people out. So he is definitely the go-to for anything pre-orders as far as video games go. So check him out if you're still looking to get one, or if you're looking to get one for like a kid or family member or something like that. But yeah, hopefully, again, we don't get very many console launches. So I just enjoy the moment.
Yeah.
And hopefully everyone just has a good time. Yeah. I mean, God, the Switch lasted 8 years. Jesus. I mean, God.
It was long. I feel like
it was about 2 years too long. Like I felt like,
and that was because of COVID. It just because it did so well. And they're like, well, we can probably get away with
like it felt like Tears of the Kingdom should have been like a launch game for the Switch 2.
I wonder if that was planned at some point.
I bet that was in the works or in the talks, or at least being like a cross generational game.
Yeah,
it was with the Wii U.
And there was that big leak of Scarlet and Violet getting a Switch 2 version in 2023. So maybe it was planned for 2023 at some point, and then it got pushed out. Yeah, by a year and a half, 2 years.
Yeah, we'll never know because Nintendo is so secretive. So we'll never find out. Unless, I don't know, we get a book or something down the road. But so yeah, just enjoy it. It's always fun for a console release. It's always fun to be part of that zeitgeist, playing all the new games and stuff, and then looking forward to whatever else they got cooking up later on this year, because we'll know they have a few more surprises for us. So
yeah.
All right, guys. Well, if you don't join this on Thursday for the live stream, we'll see you next Monday with a ton of coverage and talk.
It's gonna be a big one.
Big Switch 2 blowout special. So be there.
Blowout.
Be square.
Don't be square.
Don't be square. All right. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.